tiisin.
A 150-pound American bulldog that everyone called too dangerous to adopt disappeared into the darkness every single night for 3 months straight. His family would wake at dawn to find him lying on the porch, exhausted, covered in dirt, with cuts on his paws and blood streaked across his chest. They tried following him. They tried locking him inside. Nothing worked. And then, one night, everything they thought they knew about this gentle giant shattered in the most terrifying, most beautiful way possible. This is Tank, and this is the story of a guardian nobody understood until it was almost too late. Tank wasn't always a mystery. He was a problem first. His original owner, a man from just outside Phoenix, surrendered him to a high-kill shelter after neighbors filed complaints. Too protective, too intimidating. That dog is a weapon, they said. Tank was massive, 150 pounds of pure muscle, scarred skin, one torn ear that never healed right. Behind cold metal bars, he just sat there stone cold, watching potential adopters walk past like he was deciding if any of them were worth his time. But then, the Martinez family came in. They weren't looking for a pet. They were looking for a guardian. Carlos and Maria had just bought a farmhouse on 40 acres in rural Texas, surrounded by woods, isolated from neighbors. They'd heard stories about stray dog packs, stories about coyotes, stories about things moving through the trees at night that nobody wanted to talk about. When they saw Tank sitting in that kennel, massive and unshakable, they knew. "We'll take him," Maria said. The shelter director hesitated. "He's been returned twice. People say he's too aggressive." Maria looked at Tank. Tank looked back, and for the first time in 6 months, his tail moved. Just once, but it was enough. Tank came home that Saturday, but he wasn't like other dogs. He didn't curl up on the couch. He didn't beg for belly rubs. He didn't follow them around looking for affection. Tank had a job, and affection wasn't part of it. During the day, he patrolled the property line, walking the same routes over and over, his deep brown eyes scanning the tree line like a soldier on watch. At night, he'd sit on the porch, perfectly still, staring into the darkness for hours. And then the disappearances started. 3 weeks after adoption, Carlos woke at 2:47 a.m. to use the bathroom. He glanced out the window. Tank wasn't on the porch. He checked the doors, locked, but Tank was gone. And if you're still watching but haven't subscribed yet, that honestly breaks my heart. Stories like this, stories about the dogs everyone gives up on, need people like you who believe every soul deserves a second chance. Please subscribe. We need you here. At 6:15 a.m., just as the sun crept over the hills, Carlos heard the heavy sound of paws on wood. He opened the door. There was Tank, panting, dirt caked in his coat, fresh scratches across his shoulder, completely exhausted. "Where the hell were you?" Carlos whispered. Tank walked past him, drank an entire bowl of water, and collapsed on the floor. It happened again the next night, and the night after that, and the night after that. Every single night, Tank vanished somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m. Every single morning, he returned at dawn looking like he'd been through a war. Carlos and Maria tried everything. They installed cameras, but Tank somehow found blind spots. They tried locking him in the house, but he'd pace and scratch at the door until they couldn't take it anymore. They tried following him, but the moment they stepped outside, Tank would freeze and refuse to move until they went back inside. "He's protecting something," Maria said one morning, running her fingers over a fresh cut on Tank's side. "He's not running away, he's patrolling." But Maria knew guardian breeds. American bulldogs weren't just pets. They were protectors, bred to guard families, to face down threats that would make other dogs run. Tank wasn't being difficult. He was doing exactly what 2,000 years of genetics told him to do. Still, it worried them. The cuts were getting worse. Tank was losing weight. His paws were cracked and bleeding. Whatever he was doing out there, it was destroying him. 3 months passed. 3 months of sleepless nights and early mornings finding Tank barely able to stand. And then one night, everything came crashing together. It was 11:43 p.m. when they heard it. Barking. A pack. Deep, aggressive barking, getting closer. Carlos grabbed a flashlight. Dozens of glowing eyes moving through the darkness. A pack of stray dogs moving toward the farmhouse.
What? What you said?
Tank came out of the darkness like a missile, 150 pounds of fury. He launched himself into the center of the pack, targeted the pack leader, flipped him on his back. The pack scattered in seconds. Tank stood there, chest heaving, blood dripping from his neck. At the emergency vet, a man with a bleeding golden retriever stared at Tank. "That's him! He saved my dog from that pack tonight." The vet examined Tank. "He's been doing this for a while, hasn't he? This dog has been protecting your entire area alone every night." Maria wrapped her arms around Tank's massive neck, tears streaming down her face. "This was your love language the whole time, wasn't it?" Tank leaned into her and closed his eyes. "Because love doesn't look soft. Sometimes it looks like scars. Sometimes it looks like standing guard when no one's watching." Tank wasn't cold, he was committed.